sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Tonight in San Antonio, Texas, getting ready for the Spurs and the Mavericks, the debut of Victor Wembanyama, the most anticipated NBA debut since LeBron James 20 years ago, as Jeremy Sohan lays it in for the opening bucket. Irving gets denied by Wemby. Rejection number one with a lot more to come. Zach Collins, who starts at the 5.
Getting Maxi Kleber and Josh Green back, who were injured at times last year, as Luka hits the step back 3.
Off to Jones Jr., met by Collins, pops into the arms of Vassell. Doncic, the step back 3, you bet! Vassell gets blocked from behind by Williams, controlled by Irving, and that'll do it. And on the night that Victor Wembanyama debuts, it is the Dallas Mavericks who emerge victorious.
Well, a debut gone sour for Victor Wembanyama yesterday. Good morning to you. This is Kiko's Sports Show on your Remedy Radio Dial Solutions 939 FM. Haaland doing wonders against the young boys last night at the Champions League. And of course, Newcastle, the walk of shame. You know, I'm like saying, when we said it was a death group for the Newcastle squad, I think the spell is already being cast as we speak. Good morning to you, Oladapo Kunubi.
Yeah, good morning, Favor. Well, a lot of people never saw the victory of PSG coming, but for Newcastle United against Borussia Dortmund, you could just expect a tough one. 1-0 scoreline, 3 points is 3 points. But let's talk about Manchester City. If I had money yesterday, I know who would have given it to, most especially give it to Rotiba to do the normal. And we all come back to the office this morning to come and enjoy. But actually, we look at also this morning. We also look at games going down in the Europa League tonight. Remember yesterday, Nigeria Super Falcons also played at 1-1 against Ethiopia in the Olympic qualifier. Remember, we are live on Facebook, YouTube Solutions 939 FM to watch and comment. Well, shout out to Shade Busirat, who's joining us this morning. You can also jump on these pages. Post your comments. Let's get your reactions. Let's go. Well, away from the results of the San Antonio Spurs and Dallas Mavericks, let's talk about Philadelphia 76ers guard James Harden rejoined his teammates for practice on Wednesday, but he will not be traveling to either Milwaukee Bucks for Philadelphia's season open against the Bucks or Toronto Raptors to face the Raptors on Saturday. That means the first time he could potentially play this season will be in Sunday's home opener against the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, the NBA All-Star Game is going back to its original format this season in Indianapolis, the league announced on Wednesday. Now, the game, which will take place on February 18 at a Gainbridge Fieldhouse, will feature an Eastern Conference team and a Western Conference team comprising 12 players from each conference. This change will end the All-Star Draft that has taken place for the past 6 seasons, and team captains will be determined through fan voting of the 5 starters on each team. Now, let's look at the result of games decided yesterday, the wee hours after this morning in the NBA.
Well, Charlotte Net defeated Atlanta Hawks with 116 points to 110. It was a very beautiful victory for Indiana Pacers as they defeated Washington Wizards 143 points to 120. Boston Celtics went on the road to defeat New York Knicks 108 points to 104. Orlando Magic did a good magic against Houston Rockets, defeating them 116 points to 86 points. Well, Walker Shea Brooklyn Nets 113 points, 1 point difference to lose to Cleveland Cavaliers 114. Miami Heat brought on the Heat against Detroit Pistons by a point as well, 103 points to 102. Very poor result between Toronto Raptors and Minnesota Timberwolves, 97-94. Chicago Bulls not being able to do anything on the home front against Oklahoma City Thunder, losing 104 points to 124 points.
I mean, 20 points gap.
20 points gap. That was a very huge loss. Well, huge loss for New Orleans Pelicans, 111. That was a good one for them, 111 points. Defeating Memphis Grizzlies, 104 points. The Jazz didn't work against Sacramento Kings, losing 114 to 130. Good one, Dallas Mavericks defeating San Antonio Spurs 126, 119. And like I said, LA Clippers were able to defeat and clip the wings of Portland Trail Blazers 123 points to 111.
Okay, now moving away from basketball, let's talk tennis, where second-seeded Madison Keys has been eliminated from the WTA Elite Trophy after losing her second round-robin match 6-3, 7-6 defeat to Caroline Garcia on Wednesday after being upset in her opening match against 8th-seeded Beatrice Haddad-Maher on Tuesday. The American player had to win against number 20 ranked Garcia to keep her semi-final hopes alive. Garcia played Haddad-Maher on Friday in a straight shootout to win the Camellia group and advance to the semi-final. Top-seeded Barbara Krejcikova hopes of advancing took a dent after losing to Daria Kasatkina 7-5, 1-6, 6-1. For all the tennis updates this morning, let's look at games going down today, where in the East Bank Open in Vienna, Matteo Nardi will be in action by 10:45 this morning against Andrei Rublev. Well, for Giga Dimitrov will be in action 1 o'clock against Dani Medvedev. And Stefanos Tsitsipas will be up against Thomas Markiak. That will be by 2:30. Lorenzo Sonego will be in action against Yannick Sinner by 4:30. Francis Taifeo against Gail Morphis by 6 o'clock. That is updates coming from that end in Vienna at the East Bank Open. But looking at the Swiss indoors in Basel, we have Alex de Minaur against Talon Grand Sport. Taylor Fritz against Alexander Shevchenko, as Hugo Barnes will be up against Nicola Jarry. Dominic Stricker will tackle Casper Ruud, as Ogonoska Rune will be up against Sebastian Baez. And, Botti van de Zaklop will be up against Felix Aga alias Sime. Let's move away from that and let us focus on another part where we'll move to the second half of the show and we talk football.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Good one for the Nigerian players outside Nigeria, because Ayimba captain Ojo Olorunleke has boasted the team in Casablanca to beat Wyatt Athletic Club. That's the reports we're getting. The Nigerian champions must overturn a 1 deficit from the first leg to seal a place in the semi-finals. The game will kick off 7 p.m. Nigerian time.
I mean, losing the first leg here in Nigeria, for them, it is not about speaking, but about going on the pitch and do the talking on the pitch. Now, if you look at, if you have a team from the North African side coming to Nigeria, picking up a point, they know what to do. They know what to do to defend that 1 point. Not to now talk of getting 3 points against Nigeria, against Enyimba in the African Football League. So we wish Enyimba all the best, Nigerian champions, and let us see what they can do. We'll all be here to watch the game by 7 o'clock. But let's look at another game that is also going down on the continent today, and that is the Esperance of Tunisia against the TP Mazembe. Well, those are the games going down. But 4 o'clock is the Esperance of Tunisia's game against TP Mazembe, and Wydad Casablanca against Enyimba is going down 7 o'clock. Now let's talk about the ladies this morning. Where at first I felt like okay,
done.
They want to finish Nigeria in the first leg, but shout out to our lady, not our ladies of Apostle, but I mean having a lady who could also. I mean, I was watching her TikTok yesterday, and I was like, whoa. So this lady is not because she has a Muslim name that she can quote a Bible scripture. But looking at Super Falcons game yesterday, it was 1-1 against Ethiopia, and the return leg will come up on Tuesday, October 31. Now this is it. Randy Wardrum was not on the sideline for the Super Falcons of Nigeria yesterday. Does that really mean that if you don't have the head coach, yes, the assistants can still get something doing with the girls?
So it's obvious that without Randy Wardrum, the Super Falcons can still survive. I mean, taking another equalizer towards the end of the match is something that we should commend. But now, the fact that they're going to Abuja, like you always have reservations for Abuja, is one thing that I'm concerned about. Will the Super Falcons be like the Super Eagles of Nigeria?
They can never be like Super Eagles of Nigeria.
They can never.
They can never.
Are you sure?
We will win.
It is Abuja.
Nigeria Super Falcons are coming back home. So the lesson they learned, the early goal that came from Ethiopia, has already shown them that, hey, you don't have to underrate anything.
Okay.
So you just have to go into this game, score early goals. Don't think you want to go for a goalless draw, because if you are thinking of a goalless draw, the Ethiopians can come and sting you. And if you're saying you want to go for score draw, that means you must avoid scoring very high goals, because if you play that 1-1, if you go play 2-2, that means they've come to your home and they've scored more goals in drawn game. So they need to go for a win, avoid conceding goals, because I mean this is the qualifier stage. You still have more qualifiers to play. And remember, Nigeria failed to qualify for London 2012 Olympics, Rio 2016 Olympics, same as Tokyo 2020 Olympics. So for the 2024, I mean, this is 2023. We want to see the ladies in front. Remember, Nigeria's goalkeeper, Nadozie, she plays for a team in front. And, I mean, she's going to get a lot of fans behind her should Nigeria qualify for the Olympic football games. Now, let's move on this morning and let us talk about Shemi Ajayi. Well, West Brom manager Carlos Corberan has revealed Shemi Ajayi is nursing an ankle injury. Ajayi missed the Blazers 2-0 victory against the Queen's Park Rangers on Tuesday night as a result of the injury. He is now doubtful for Nigeria's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against the Crocodiles of Lesotho and Warriors of Zimbabwe. Remember, Victor Osimhen is expected to miss the game with injury, while there is also question mark over the availability of AC Milan winger Samuel Chukwueze. So there's going to be a big headache for Joseph Peseiro, but I don't see that as a big headache. Remember the two friendly games we played, one against Saudi Arabia, which we played at or draw, and that should be against Zimbabwe. I mean, is it Mozambique? Yes, Mozambique, which we won. Here, we had a lot of players up front, but I think we have too much lanky players too much tall players up front. We need players with speed. And looking at Shemi Ajayi, who always, moves from defense to the midfield, helping the midfielders, the likes of Wilfred Ndidi. So there's going to, for Joseph Peseiro, he needs to get players who can hold down the midfield, defensive midfield, and the attacking midfield for Super Eagles of Nigeria. But for Samuel Chukwueze, do we have players who can, back up? Players back up for that wing. Looking at his speed, looking at his agility, but let's just wait and see. It is more of what Nigeria can do. Remember, Nigeria will face Crocodiles of Lesotho at the Gospel Akpabio International Stadium in New York on Friday, November 17th. And they will be up against the Warriors of Zimbabwe 3 days later in Amahoro Stadium, Kigali. Let's go on a break, and when we come back, we'll talk UEFA Champions League.
One day, na so bag with plenty money just appear for inside one Olanrewaju compound. 2 seconds, everywhere burst.
Let me get a bag. May nobody see my radar.
Hey.
Let me face him. We cannot see you near.
You say wait, listen, as the landlord of this yard, so let me be the rightful owner of that
Hey, Oga landlord, make we no find your size. We die here.
Abeg comot it. Comot o. You wan collect?
bag. Now who come get this bag? Now for the new series, Akpo, we go know.
Follow the yawa way buster. Sake of this bag where money full. On top the new Africa Magic Show, Akpo. Come see the long throat and kasala way scatter ground. From 18 September, every Monday and Tuesday by 6:30 for evening. On top Africa Magic, Yoruba Channel 2. Go TV. Love it.
Are you a dedicated farmer involved in cultivation or livestock farming? Then we've got exciting news for you. Introducing Farm Link Up, your gateway to start selling your farm products faster and say goodbyes to spoiled farm produce. Farm Link Up is the largest online market platform for farmers in Africa and globally. Not only that, it connects buyers to fresh farm products at very affordable prices, and farmers can now sell their products faster. If you are a farmer that has in stock of essential equipment, crops, fertilizers, pesticides, and livestock, Farm Link Up is your one-stop solution. Simply register at farmlinkup.com and start to post your products on the platform for free on farmlinkup.com, as buyers are already waiting for you. For more inquiries, simply call 0901 234 5555 or visit farmlinkup.com directly to unlock the boundless opportunities in the world of agriculture. Farmlinkup.com, connecting farmers to the consumers and the world at large.
My name na Taiwo Kuka.
My name na Kende Kuka.
We be twins.
We small. Our mama and our papa then they joke say now only one pikin then they expect. But not two of us them get.
Actually, now I mean they expect to. Now she didn't get as a wolf.
I beg you.
Na me be the golden child.
Anyway, our life be like this Momo 100% recharge bonus. Where we say you go get double of any amount where you recharge.
Go recharge your MTN line now for Momo app or dial *671# now.
Make Momo summer you better bonus.
Download the Momo app now or dial *671# to enjoy. Momo, better pass cash.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on these websites: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Announcer, FSRCC.
When great minds meet, great ideas inspire and transform a great nation. Wherever you are, National Advertising Conference is calling.
So, join us. Let's share perspectives on how brand narratives are developing talents, inspiring alternatives, and supporting a more creative economy. Theme: Marketing Communication as an enabler of national transformation.
Yes, Abuja will be on standstill from December 6th to 8th, 2023. Venue: International Conference Center, Abuja. Time: 9 a.m. each day.
Register at www.nationaladvertisingconference.com.
National Advertising Conference 2023. Let's engage marketing communications for national transformation.
Turn up, let's turn the nation around.
Hey, listeners on Spotify are driving Afrobeats to billions of streams. Now you can join in on the journey and listen to your favorite music without ad breaks.
Upgrade to Spotify Premium now and enjoy 4 months free.
Newcastle in their traditional black and white, Dortmund in yellow, so bright it can hurt your eyes. Both have the ability to shine. Who will tonight? Forthright in his press conference yesterday. My aim is to win a trophy, he said. Malen.
breaking away and getting the first opportunity on goal, stopped by Pope, and Marco Reus can't turn in the rebound.
Good take by Gordon, good running by Gordon, couldn't get past Schlotterbeck. Referee said the German won the ball, and Reus now trying to capitalise, and Schlotterbeck is charging upfield. He tees it up for the Mecha! Terrific finish! But he was the man that was signed as the replacement for Jude Bellingham. They are big shoes to fill, and that indeed is the last act. And Borussia Dortmund celebrate.
That was a goal scored by Borussia Dortmund against Newcastle United. Well, whatever you expect, I mean, in UEFA Champions League football, you need to come with your strengths, win all the games you need to win in the first half, then go into the second half and get all. If you're going to draw, you also have to, squeeze out yourself from that to the knockout round and round of 16. But let us listen to Eddie Howe after the loss last night.
Yeah, I think we felt a little bit disappointed with the first half. I thought we were a little bit loose technically. Very quick pitch tonight. It was almost too quick for us. We were rushed in our decision making. That brought them into the game on transitions. Second half was much better. I thought we played with more control, and we did have the chances. We probably weren't at our absolute best, and I think in this competition it's a lesson for us, because to win games I think we have to be. We have to play the conditions, of course. It was a really quick night. The wet surface made it really, really quick, and I don't think our touch was perfect tonight, and that cost us. Yeah, it's very difficult to tell, very early days. Alex looks like a reoccurrence of his groin that he had on international duty. Jacobs looks like potentially a dislocation of his shoulder, so probably on the eye, more worried about Jacob, but let's see.
Okay, now let's go straight and talk about Manchester City this morning. Well, for Manchester City recording their victory 3-1 over the Young Boys in Switzerland. And, well, yet to lose a game, yet to draw a game. They have 9 points from 3 matches. Pep Guardiola is optimistic now that they are in a better driver's position, most especially defending the title and looking at the Manchester derby they have ahead.
I like the way they play. They are a so aggressive team, and our build-up was really good with Eddie and Ruben. They were exceptional, both of them. So I had the feeling that we were there. So I admire my players, the way they face every competition, every game. I had the feeling that we believe something special for the fact that we win the treble or win the Champions League. We are in Kerba humble enough so to accept that the opponents can punish us because they have weapons to do it. The goal they scored was fantastic, the movement and the finishing. So that's why I'm really pleased. The people say, no, but Manchester City, Young Boys, you have to come here and win. You have to come here and win. And I know how difficult it is in everywhere today in Champions League, go away and win. So we won 2 games away, so now it's in our hands to finish first at home, and we're going to try to do it. Yeah, I had time to Old Trafford, of course, in a number of games. So in Premier League, you have 87 points to play. Here we have just 9 points. You haven't, now we have nine points to play. So it's less. So in Champions League, we cannot miss chances. We cannot miss opportunities. We are not back. So, of course, derby is important. United have a lot of confidence after the victory from yesterday. And, of course, always it's tough in Old Trafford. So, but we have time to prepare, and we're going to prepare as best as possible.
Well, all right. Now, wishing other teams all the best. But now let's talk about games going down tonight in the Europa League.
Well, West Ham United will be taking on Olympiacos, and we have Freiburg up against TSC Topala in the Group A. Well, for Group B, Ajax will be up against Brighton and Old Albion. Because
okay, for Brighton and Old Albion, okay.
I am not sure what's really going on with the Brighton squad, but we have EAK Athens taking on Marseille later on today. In Group C, for the Europa League, Aris Limassol will be up against Real Betis, while Rangers will be up against Sparta Prague. That's going to be about 8:45 today. For Group D, we have Rocco Shizatoa taking on Sporting CP, and Sturm Graz will be up against Atalanta. Finally, Group E, we have Liverpool hosting Tours, and Union S St. Gilloise taking on Lask. For Group F, we have Rennes taking on Panathinaikos.
Okay, looking at Group G, FC Sheriff will be up against Savete Roma, take on Slavia Praha, and Group H, Molde will be up against BK Häcken, as Bayer Leverkusen will be up against Karabakh FK. Well, remember the Conference League is also going down, where Olympia Ljubljana will be up against Klaksvik, as Leo in France hosts Slovan Bratislava. And the last game in Group B, we'll see Ghent take on Dam Lake. We have in Group C more games to go down, but hey, because of our time, we have to wrap up here. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, the Friday edition, 9 o'clock. But let's look at the other side of the show this morning, where we look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. Demola Lafewa is coming to this side, and Favor Laurentola has been dragging all of us in the studio, looking at what transpired yesterday in a court of law, and the court, the decision from the court saying that there must be a new selection process. I still feel that there's always, when they say Olani Yonu, and in every family there's a problem. But now let's look at Nigeria. I was saying something. It is about what is happening in the country. The selection process may be wrong, but I feel why did they have to go ahead when there is a court injunction?
Now, you're sorry, I have to come in this way. You're missing some vital point.
What's the vital point?
I think we should address the initial selection process of each king or each Oba in the cultural setting in Nigeria. Before all of this courts was put in place, before Olaju civilization, there was something that would indicate that someone should be the next king.
Okay, consulting the deity.
Now, where
the oracle,
where
right?
is the consultation? Where did we make
it? Where
is our cultural balance now in Nigeria?
Favor, calm down. I don't know, maybe you are connected with the family.
I'm not
but
connected.
What I'm saying here is,
I am just concerned about our culture. Where is it going? Is our culture still intact?
Yes.
Okay, yesterday I was with a little girl. We're trying to, do the Aiku Aje Ishegun Ojoru Ojobo Eti Abameta. Now, that is one cultural aspect we have to look at. Most of our kids do not, even myself that I'm talking, do not really understand our language. Where is the culture going? When are we going to have this balance?
I think first we need to look at the involvement of government in selection, not even the selection process here, but there is involvement of government, and if that is in place, we look at law as well. I think what should have been the process here is, okay, so the first question is, was Gandhi selected by
the oracle?
By the oracle. If he was, then why will someone go to court? But there's law of the land that has already been put in place that there must not be any inauguration, and it went ahead. So, we cannot say this should be the end, but I know Laffy still understands more. Maybe if we also watch the movie Shaworede, we should also understand where things have gone wrong in selection and gone wrong with culture, government, and evolution process in the world.
Okay, fortunately, Shaworede is on the lips of Toyin for
that's
Ayoka.
one for Ayoka.
We'll be focusing on that. So when we do this morning, you can also tune into the station by 6:30 today to listen to that story.
All right. I'm not a prince. I'm not a king. My name is Dapo Okonobi.
Well, I'm a princess in my own right. My name is Favor Lawrence, and I'll be coming back soon.
sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Let's be dynamic with your morning update and make it better with Kickoff Sports Show, where we will be serving you all the latest from tennis, basketball, Formula One, football, exclusive interviews, and lots more.
Hamilton going for the move on Alonso at the 130. These two great side by side.
Martinelli! Oh yes! Gabriel Martinelli is back with a bang!
Headlines from Nigerian newspapers, behind the papers from the stand, analysis on burning trending issues across Nigeria and beyond.
The problem is not politics or tribalism, but corruption.
The governors will say, give us our own slot. The chairman of local government will say, give us our own slot. Who does those slots go to?
You offend, they arrest you, they detain you, and they release you. That's all.
Hello, my name is Oladapo Okunubi.
My name is Victory Onyedikachi.
My name is Adedamola Lafenwa.
And my name is Favor Oloruntola.
Join us weekdays 9 a.m. on your Remedy Radio dial, Solutions 939 FM.
Here, we make it different from the norm. Still acting as though he's a king. We were discussing something very important.
Okay.
I was expecting that you would at least, probably support me, or you just don't support me in this issue.
Let me just start by thanking Dakbo Konobi for holding forth for me yesterday, because I think my voice is getting clearer a bit now, as yesterday.
And now you're sounding like a buzzman.
Okay. Now, I overheard you and Dakbo talking about the culture, and I think with all apologies, I think we the Yorubas, we have a lot to do, because I've traveled to so many places and I've seen so many people of different tribes and cultures in Nigeria, and I've come to realize that it is only we the Yoruba people that we don't seem to be so proud. I'll explain that, because let's ask ourselves why you were growing up. My parents were educated, well educated. Your parents too, well educated, but they were communicating with you
in Yoruba,
in your mother tongue.
My mother tongue as well.
Now I've seen parents today that are even forbidding the speaking of Yoruba language, even in their houses, even in their homes. I've seen mothers scolding their children for speaking in Yoruba. I mean, this is where it all starts. When you cannot even, and I know my people from the eastern part of the country, even if they are living abroad, they will never stop speaking to their kids in their mother tongue. Which it's peculiar to we Europe. It's if you can talk about, when you talk about parents, Yoruba parents that speak to their children in Yoruba these days, you can say maybe like 2 out of 10.
Okay, this is one very
so
cogent
issue. I think we need to address it from the home.
We will address it today. We'll address it. Everyone, you have to, be a part of this program this morning. When we open the phone lines after we speak with our analyst this morning, the line is 0909 88 89 939 0912 22 22 939 0909 88 89 939 0912 22 22 939. You can also join us. Drop your comments on Facebook at Solutions 939 FM PCL to sell petrol diesel directly to marketers. Ip Man. Now, court stops Senate award of 18.4 billion compensation to 36 rivers oil communities. There's this one right here by Yausa. APC react as INEC deletes silver from candidates' names. We read the story very early yesterday morning. Now, bill to ban CBN governor deputies from partisan politics passes second reading to Senate. 9 states get new resident electoral commissioners, page 19. Now, to the issue for today. Court removes Gandhi as Shon of Ogumosho, orders fresh selection process. Obaseki is warning on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune, saying Nigeria will be in deeper trouble if we don't cut waste. What is this waste? I wonder. IPPIS. Federal government threatens to remove unverified civil servants from payroll October 27, that's from tomorrow. And fringe shutdown as EFCC students clash in Ibadan. This also generated a lot of controversies yesterday in Oyo State. Armed robbers invade Southwest private hostels, rape 4 students, page 15. Now, 2,360 children killed in Gaza Strip, that's UNICEF, page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, there are quite interesting stories on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. I have this one saying Senate to amend CBN Act bars governor from partisan politics, page 19. Tinubu appoints 9 INEC recs, page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Brain drain, FG to increase enrollment of doctors, nurses next year, page 8. And another one says, okay, let me go to the banner line, the biggest story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, talking about the Supreme Court judgment that is being expected today. Presidential tussle. 7 Supreme Court justices who will decide Tinubu Atiku Obi's fate today. And there are riders under that caption. I have this one saying 2 of 3 petitions that got to Supreme Court up to adjudication today. And the second one saying we have a good case at the Apex Court, Labour Party. The story is found on page 5. IPPRS FG to stop salaries of unverified workers tomorrow, page 9. Another one says God sent robbers to shoot me. That sounds interesting, and well, it's not really written there, but if you want to know more, you want to know who said that, get a copy of the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
Okay.
I mean, if someone is saying God sent robbers to shoot him, well, Otto Kenya like you did.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Can you move to the next paper?
Okay. All right, so for the Punch newspaper this morning, it is written here, diesel, jet fuel rising prices threaten industries, airlines. Diesel, aviation fuel, sell for 1,000 naira, factory shut in Kano, Ogun, Anambra, others. Telecoms operators use 40 million litres of diesel monthly. Man warns against Ike. A federal government delegate visits flooded Ogun communities, promises succor. It's right here. Even the convoy of the president that was there is also inside the flood. Very interesting picture on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. Now, National Assembly to probe lawyers, others behind $11 billion P&ID scandal, page 38. Now, still here on the Supreme Court deciding Tinubu Atiku Obi poll battle today. President to present 2024 budget November, says Senate. 5.5 trillion naira payroll. Federal government stop workers' salaries, not on IPPIS. Page 22 of the Punch newspaper. And finally, the Mohbad story is here, and it's an update. Mohbad hid for 6 months over fear of attack. Parents, page 4, and page 5. And I also read about his father saying that Mohbad assured him that he was going to, settle the dispute between himself and Naira Marley, from the front pages of the newspaper.
Okay, moving to the Nation newspaper this morning. Let me just take a few of the headlines on the front page. Federal government to delist unverified workers from payroll. Page 5 of the Nation newspaper this morning. 10 nominees for Senate screening as Rex. New chiefs of Lagos, others. That story is found on page 6 of the Nation newspaper. And you read story about the removal of the Shawon Fogbomosho Oba Olaoye. And it's also captured on the front page of the Nation newspaper. It says, court removes Shawon of Ogbomosho Oba Olaoye. That story is found on page 27. Let me take one more story. Shetima farm centers in 774 councils to take off soon. Vice President woos investors with Nigeria's 70 million hectares of arable land. These and many more stories will be found on the pages of the Nation newspaper this morning.
Now to the burning issue for today. We're ready to have our analysts join us very soon, and also you take a listen and drop your comments, your reactions, because we want to discuss so many things today. Imagine the jet fuel is rising. Someone is saying it's a good omen for the country. The cultural aspect that we have to take care of, and also the most important judgment that is coming to settle the dispute between Tinubu, Atiku, and Obi later on today. The battle will be over today. Where is this going to take Nigeria in the next 4 years? Stay tuned. It is Solutions 93.9 FM.
Let's be dynamic with your morning update and make it better with Kickoff Sports Show, where we will be serving you all the latest from tennis, basketball, Formula One, football, exclusive interviews, and lots more.
Hamilton going for the move on Alonso at the 130. These two great side by side.
Martinelli! Oh yes! Gabriel Martinelli is back with a bang!
Headlines from Nigerian newspapers, behind the papers from the stand, analysis on burning trending issues across Nigeria and beyond.
The problem is not politics or tribalism but corruption.
The governors will say, give us our own slot. The chairman of local government will say, give us our own slot. Who does those slots go to?
You offend, they arrest you, they detain you, and they release you. That's all.
Hello, my name is Oladapo Okunubi.
My name is Victory Onyedikachi.
My name is Adedamola Lafenwa.
And my name is Favor Oloruntola.
Join us weekdays 9 a.m. on your Remedy Radio dial, Solutions 939 FM.
Here, we make it different from the norm.
Let's be dynamic with your morning update.
Alright, it's still AM Update on Solutions 93.9 FM, and joining us virtually this morning is a man I would like to call the son of the soil. That is Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe, talking about Ogbomosho. Ogbomosho, your town, is in the news this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my comrade, brother, and sister. Ogbomosho, the land of the valiant.
Okay. All right. Now, because you are the son of the soil, there is a story that is virtually on all newspapers this morning talking about a high court judgment which was pronounced yesterday and removing the newly installed Shawon of Ogbomosho land. Now, when you got the story, what was your first reaction as a son of the soil?
Well, the path of, as you will have experienced, the path of a man's life will be dotted by many milestones, challenges. You don't get to the top by happenstance. you don't get to your destination on a smooth mode. That will be turbulent. You travel by air, there's turbulence. You travel by road, there are risks. You travel by sea, there is turbulence. So processes. And one good thing is that what we're talking about here is the rule of law. You understand? The rule of law.
Yeah.
Absolutely important. Absolutely important. The, Oyo State High Court in the Bumasho, Justice Ye Ko Ribe, we're talking about processes here. It was, the announcement was made on 2nd of September, and it was installed on Friday, the 8th of September.
Yeah.
But Kaburi Laoye, a member of the same family, had gone to court, challenging the processes.
Okay.
And this is about processes, you understand? Processes. And processes are important because they determine what happens. Ajagbade, the thought, the one that passed on 12th of December, he had raised the bar of kingship, of royalty in Ogbomosho. He was on the throne for 49 going to 50 years. And he had raised the bar of royalty. He was this, if you want to call him, self-sufficient man. And I think the one that was chosen was to meet that standard and even raise it higher. You understand? Maybe. This is a man that I've known since 1979. We were in Ife together. And I'd known his father. Of course, his mother, too, was in Ife. And I'd known the father. The father was a very good friend of my father.
Are you referring to Afolabi Olaoye?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, we were still together. We were in Ife together with her older senior sister. Was a very close friend of my sister, too. And the father, too, very close to my father. We lived around Liberty Road in Malifala and together. So, let me tell you, the man never wanted to be king. But sometimes, the circumstances of history, the circumstances of your location, the circumstances of his birth in this regard, located him. Some of us might have sensed that he was going to be dragged into it. But some of us thought too that after living in Washington for 29 years, what are you coming to do in Ogbomosho? But the demand that you have to sacrifice, you understand? Sacrifices. So I think that was how he was dragged into it. But the important thing is that the rule of law, maybe in what I would call a little bit of a haste, to get the processes done, you understand? Maybe they were a little hasty, or they were ignorant of some of these procedures, because the last time that was done was 50 years ago, you understand? Apparently there wouldn't have been anybody around, who was a witness to that process, because the one that died was 95 years old. So maybe they were not aware of the processes and all of that. And the local government that was supposed to guide them did not properly guide them, because the local thing and the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, maybe they were not properly guided. Maybe that was why the thing was, the processes were not fully complied with. But by and large, I am of the opinion that it may not just be the choice of the kingmakers. I think it is the choice of Ogbomosho people across the length and breadth of this global space beyond Ogbomosho. But rule of law, it is important.
Well, comrade, where do we now leave out the rule of the oracle in this? Because I am sure that there are some processes that will entail consultations and a lot of other processes. But first, the choosing of the next in line should come from the oracle. I mean, this is what we're saying, the cultural aspect of Nigeria.
It has always been
always been like that in the past. Now, when you say probably 50 years ago, those that know about the processes did not or are no longer available to point out the direction as to how it's going to go. this is where documentation comes in. This is where our history comes as Nigerians.
Yes, we have a culture of passing on, tradition orally. You understand? Orally. We have done that for thousands of years. God bless his soul. The late, you are laughing. You go to him, you sit down for hours on end. He will not open any book. He will just be reading out history of centuries, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 centuries. These are things that were passed on. And when you live in a cultural environment where these things are passed on to you, family history are passed on from generation to generation. So let me tell you one thing about we have lost a great proportion of these processes to political governance, or governance as it were, not just even political governance. When the traditional institutions were exposed in the First Republic, you understand? There was a House of Chiefs. And some of us were put in cabinet in the Western Nigeria there. Some of us were in cabinet. And the moment royalty was involved in partisan politicking, that laid the foundation for the erosion of that institution. You won't forget easily what happened to Olagbeji when Action Group crisis broke out. He was banished. He was removed from office. The same thing happened to Alaafin Adeyemi II. You understand? The crisis between him and Bode Thomas. Because Bode Thomas was the chairman of the local government. It was even Bode Thomas that was at 20-something was the chairman of the local government. Alaafin was just a member of the local government where he was king. So, and somebody was telling me, a lawyer, he told me, I think last week, he said, government is the oracle now. I had no response to that. Government is the oracle now. That is the situation. They will be allowed, to take their own decisions. But they may be guided if those in political power and authority have a desire. But it has to, that desire of those in political authority has to correspond enough with the desire of the people they are going to be over. You cannot decide to put an over that is not going to be popular. You understand?
Yes. That
would be risky. That would be very, very risky.
But let me ask you a question. Let me cut in here, sir. I remember in the past, you made a statement a while ago. You said whoever is to be chosen as Oba should be people, shouldn't be only by the kingmakers, but the people that the citizens or the members of the town like. In the past, it has always been the choice of the kingmakers. So why does it have to be? Why does it now have to be that the people must like the person? What if in the past we believe that once the oracle has chosen this person, everybody has to conform to the choice of the oracle? Now, how do we now begin to believe in our culture? It's interesting to know that a member of his family, talking about Afolabi Olaoye, Mr. Kabiru Olaoye, was the one that even initiated this suit against a member of his family that was already chosen to be Shawon of Ogbomoso. I don't believe this used to happen in the past. Once it has been selected by the kingmakers, everybody has to conform to this.
The moment government, political authority started enacting laws, do you know that they have reviewed chieftaincy title laws in certain towns and expanded even the number of families? Check out, even some towns now, towns within towns, they are asking for bidded crown kings. And government is setting up commissions of inquiry and, cooking up history and granting them titles and all of that. You understand? And they are saying what we are doing is complying with modernity. But it is about the king being loved by the people. The oracle will not choose a king that will not be loved by the people. It is not possible. The oracle, the voice of God, you understand? Vox populi, they said. Vox Dei. The voice of God is also the voice of the people. And of course, the oracle is the voice of God. Therefore, it must also tally with the voice of the people. So the oracle is not going to choose anyone that is not going to be beloved by the people. Is going to rule and reign over.
I remember you saying that the government is now the oracle. Now let's link
That's
it.
what I didn't say that. Somebody told me that.
That's what someone said.
Government is the new oracle in town.
Okay. Now, if government is the new oracle in town, let's go back to the Ajimobi and the Oba saga, the beaded crowns. Now, the saga with Olusegun Obasanjo, Edide, Ejoko, and also the EFCC probing, these Obas.
The kingmakers.
Now, I want to ask a question. Is our tradition now becoming a laughing stock? Because it's looking as though corruption is now seeping into our traditional system.
Let me tell you that even anthropologists are looking at the entire African society culturally and saying, are we sure that corruption has not always been a part of our processes? The one we call gratification, the one I bring you cola nut and say thank you, and all of that, But the issue now is that Damola and I had a conversation regarding this, the EFCC quizzing the kingmakers of Oyo. Imagine Oyo Empire. They are laughing of Oyo. Even the kingmakers themselves, they are institutions in their own various quarters.
Definitely.
Institutions themselves. And then now, being quizzed by EFCC. And that is Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. What happened to regular criminal investigation bureau? What happened to first criminal investigation department? I mean, who is instigating the EFCC in this regard? You understand? It is inappropriate. If that is going to be done, it has to be, quietly done. It is subjecting our culture, our traditional institutions, subjecting it to outright scandalous ridicule. I do not look. Yorubas are guilty of all the major cultures in this country. Yorubas are the worst in terms of the erosion of our culture. I have always quarreled with people. They want their children to speak English. I don't know why. English is the language of instruction in school. And what nonsense is that? And I keep asking them, what English are they speaking? What English do they understand? Mixing up tenses and all of that. It is a thing of pride. You can think, look, ask them, which parable, the basic parables, complete this parable. You know all those things that we used to do. Even on radio. Even on radio. All those things are vanishing. Very soon, Yoruba will not even be, unless they say everybody, if you are Igbo, you do Igbo compulsory as a language. And you must do English basically and do your own language compulsorily, or else we're headed for trouble. Go home to families. You see Igbo people speaking Igbo. Go to the northerners, the Hausa. They're speaking the Hausa. Here, in Yoruba land, it is Oyibo. And we think it's civilization. We think we're educated. We think we are sophisticated. Culture. Look, that is our identity. I have a cousin. She didn't grow up in Nigeria. She married outside the southwest culture. She married from the Delta. And then the man now died. She has 2 kids. And now I was now asking the first child. I said, who are you? You cannot speak Igbo, where your father comes from. You cannot speak Yoruba, where your mother comes from. Who are you? What is your identity? This is a very challenging thing. I hope something deliberate and intentional, especially Dawn Commission, should include this, not just development agenda. Our language, our culture is a part of our development agenda, not science and technology alone. It is our culture and tradition is under assault, under serious assault.
Okay.
By us, not by outsiders, by us, not from outsiders.
I hope we get it right in your state, in Yoruba land and in Nigeria. But it's looking as though we're about to get it right. The decision for the next 4 years is coming up later on today. And the Labour Party is optimistic and very assured that this judgment will come to their favor. That is the Supreme Court judgment by today. Now, let's look at this. When this is all over, what's the future of Nigeria for the next 4 years?
The future of Nigeria is in the hands of the 200 million plus Nigerians. The future, the sovereignty, we surrendered our sovereignty on election day for somebody to lead us. But the fact that he was elected to lead us does not translate to the 200 million or to the 96 million registered voters and like 21 million people that voted. It does not mean we are going to go to sleep. I keep saying this. We should not be demanding good governance. No, we should be demanding in governance is transparency. This governance is not a secret society. It is not a secret cause. Transparency is what we demand in governance. What are you doing that? You remember in the days of Okonjo-Iweala, they were releasing what was being given to state and local government. Then from there you can follow up. People should know, Nigerians, they will say, God will help us. Look, what God has empowered you to do, He will not do for you. They put money in your account. They've opened an account for you, put money there, give you debit card, give you checkbook. If you don't go to a terminal or use your phone to transfer do transaction, you cannot access the money. You have to take a certain steps yourself, even if all the resources that are found in this country. How are we harnessing it? How are we managing it? How are we distributing it? To what purpose? To what end? In whose interest? That is what we should be asking our leaders. We should be asking for transparency. They should be transparent. If they don't want to be transparent, we must demand it. Look, in this country, people confronted the military. They took the military on. And they got the military out of power. As terrible and horrific as Abacha was, people took on the military in this country. They took on Babangida. They took on Abacha. So much so that Abdul Salam that took over for me, he spent only 11 months and got out of office in a haste. So what has happened to us? We maybe have concluded that we have democracy. No, we don't have democracy. The first person that took over a retired general. The one that came after him, God bless his soul, with good intentions, but was posted on us by a general. And then another general came and did full 8 years. Probably Tinubu that way has been that somebody who desired the office and went for it, you understand? Not that come and be president. Jonathan never wanted to be anything. Jonathan never wanted to be president. They were posted on us. So we are democracy is not an event. It is a process. So we don't have democracy. Democracy is a process. America has been independent since 1776. Yet in 2020 or thereabouts, somebody was going to upset the entire 320-year history of democracy in America. If not for the institutions that has been put in place and has been secured, that is what will secure us. That is what will secure us. We pay attention to politicians. Politicians do not act alone. It is the bureaucracy that runs this country. The bureaucracy, that is the engine room of governance. We should pay attention to bureaucracy too. What is bureaucracy doing? What are they supposed to be doing? Are they taken care of? And that is why I will commend some of the things this administration is talking about. Access to credit. You understand? Access to credit is key. A man is a director. If you are not a permanent secretary, you are not earn 400,000 naira. You are a director in the state, you are earning 200,000 naira. Multiply that by 12, that is 2.54 million naira. It doesn't buy you any Tokumbo car today, does it? Well, so not to talk of house, not to talk of sending your children to school. So access to credit, that is one of the things that I've heard this administration talk about. And that will ease the life of the public and civil servants, and they will be confident. A man that is not sure of the fees of his children in public school, not to talk of private school, the man they would devise means of subverting the system. And they now work in collusion, in connivance, active collusion with the political officers. The political officers don't know the terrain. It is the bureaucrats that know the terrain and show them around how to manipulate the resources of this country. So there is hope. When hope dies, a man dies. If they say there's no hope for this country, whoever says that cannot be serious. When hope dies, a man dies. So there is hope. But to keep that hope alive and for the realization of that hope, it is a joint venture. You have a stake, I have a stake. Don't sit back and say God will help us. God has helped us already. He has blessed us.
Okay, God has helped us. God has blessed us. God has, been our support. Now, you mentioned something about resources, hope, realization. And on the Punch newspaper this morning, there's a story. Diesel, jet fuel, rising prices threaten industry's airline. Diesel, aviation fuel sell for 1,000 naira. Factories shutting down in Kano, Anambra, and other states. And then telecoms operators using 40 million liters of diesel monthly. And there is a warning from MAN about hike. Sapri on X says the rising of aviation fuel is a good omen. Let us all travel the bad roads and experience the accompanying insecurities of the road. Let's take it from this comment. This is the opinion of Nigerians on this. We've been having hiking fuel prices since the inauguration of the president. We already know that fuel subsidy is over. Let us see. Good omen, yes. Yesterday, remember that the rep said the reason for this SUVs is because of these bad roads.
You are back to the issue of SUV.
No, I'm not. I'm just. It's everything is intertwined. This person said it's a good omen so that we can all travel the bad roads together and experience the accompanying insecurities of the roads. We are.
But what about
always,
the industries that have been affected?
The industries that have been affected. Let's look at it. Let's look at the effect on Nigerians. I mean, this is. We talk about this every day. When are we going to stop talking about these issues and have a better nation, Nigeria?
We're not going to stop talking about it unless things change, unless we have a better society. You see, I want to start from the perspective that Tinubu is in 6 months, in fact, 5 months. So much has happened in those 5 months, not for good. At least apparently, but for what? The economic situation, the value of the naira, and the impact on the life of every Nigeria. Believe you me, not average Nigeria. Every Nigeria is a very serious one. But what I would just say for a start is that if Tinubu came into office and decided to take these tough decisions. They're tough decisions. I call them tough decisions because you will recall that El Rufai told us that they commissioned an investigation and gave the report to Buhari. And he said that report is lying somewhere in the villa, that they had to remove subsidy. Buhari had the goodwill. You will recall that twice they took the price of PMS. And there was not even a whimper. That tells us that Buhari had the goodwill. He could have gone ahead and we would have been out of this in quite a while. But for how long? We didn't get to this location by sudden flight. CBN issue is there. NNPC is a monument to disaster. NNPC is a signpost to the mismanagement, to the waste, to the colossal waste that we have endured and plagued our country with mindless people that they have plagued Nigeria with. But somebody has to do something. It is not going to continue like that. I suspect that the people have to be very careful and be this time. You cannot take on Central Bank and take on NNPC at the same time. What is the problem? Why is NNPC those refineries are not working? Even the reports available currently suggest that the Port Harcourt one will not be ready in December because the equipment being procured do not fully tally with the equipment they're going to deploy them for. That is sabotage. Those are the people who FCC should be pursuing, not kingmakers. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Those are economic crimes. They are also financial crimes. You are told to procure equipment to fix a refinery. You are bringing equipment that will not fit into those places. Those are economic crimes. So some people are doing that. And they have always up. Look, I was reading yesterday. 11 trillion since 2010 has been used. 11 trillion naira has been deployed to fix our refineries. And I said to someone yesterday, let's even use 1,000 naira to the dollar, which is the average rate today. That is $11 billion. $11 billion have been used since 2010. That is 2020, 15 years, 13 years, has been used in the past 13 years to fix our refineries. And yet, none is working. Hey, that is something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere. An individual built a refinery and shamelessly, the Federal Republic of Nigeria bought into that refinery being built by an individual. Shamelessly, a shameless people. NNPC bought into it. So, something is wrong somewhere. I know for sure, and I can take a bet on it, that who is not saying anything about NNPC, it is deliberate. You cannot take on a CBN because those who benefited from the era of Emefiele, they are well entrenched in the system. He was just supplying them dollars. Oh, Rankadede, there's KBC, there's $1 million available for you. He will just go and sell it. And they will sell it, and they will just sell it 400 million without lifting a finger. Those who benefited are well entrenched in the system. They can bring a government down. That is just CBN. You now go, look, they say they are stealing 400,000 barrels. They are not stealing 400 spoons. They are not stealing 400,000 handfuls, 400,000 barrels of crude oil in Nigeria. So whoever is going to take that on, that one itself is war. So I suspect what he's going to do is that go and put an NPC on the stock market. And those who are going to put an NPC on the stock market, those who want to buy, will do due diligence. That will be self-correction. Government doesn't have to fire anybody. Government doesn't have to constitute any commission of inquiry or investigation or anything. Just go and put an NPC on the stock market. The time is coming for that. It has to be gradual. When they are done with these court cases today and he wins, you understand? Then maybe he has three. He does not even have 3.5 years. He has 3 years and 7 months, Abi. But you can always be sure that the last 18 months too will be spent pursuing a second term. So he probably has 18 months to work before he starts. Even actions that they take now has to do with consideration for second term and all of that. But he has a mandate. He says he has worked 30 years in pursuit of this. Legacy, that is what he will be remembered with for. Even if he did only one time, do the needful. So, the man is taking painful, terrible decisions that are hurting the people. Before things get better, things are going to get very, very tough and rough. I can assure you. But if he stays the course, but some of the things that they are doing, they are confusing. Because why will you lift embargo on the appropriation of foreign exchange for those 43 items? Do you want to kill local industry? You understand? So these are the conflicting actions that they are taking that is arousing curiosity in some of us. In whose interest was that done? In whose interest? So those are the things. But we have to keep hope alive and keep doing our own part like we are doing this morning.
Okay, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, sir. Thank you very much for your wisdom in all of this.
Thank you. I'm most grateful for the platform. God bless you and have a fruitful day.
Same goes to you. All right, we have been in conversation with the comrade Ayodeji at G-Shokwe, and the program is AM Update. This is from the Front Daily's corner of the program. Remember, you can drop your comments on Facebook at Solutions939FM. Get your call in to have your reactions taken. 0909 88 89 939. 0912 2222 939. You can also call the WhatsApp line or send a text message to 0904 422 to 939. We'll go on a short break. When I come back, we'll take your comments, take your reactions. Remember, we spoke about the cultural system, the traditional system in Nigeria or your state. We also delved into the judgment that will be taken on today at the Supreme Court. And finally, we spoke about the rise in diesel, jet price, across the state, the country, plus the shutting down of industries. Please stay tuned. We'll be back. For staying tuned and joining us. Okay, going to the reactions from the stories that we've gotten from today. Let me go to Twitter, X, I beg your pardon, concerning most of the issues. Well, this is what the country is facing now. Hope our daily 2 on X. I remember taking a comment from Sir P earlier today. And then there is this one, tell me something in Nigeria that the price did not rise. Oopsie, it has risen, and it is rising. And we keep having this all over. Probably by the end of the year, it's going down. Okay, this is another comment. Pray for Nigeria. Indeed, Nigeria needs to be prayed for. Amazing on X says people are suffering. Okay. Adebayo says a glance at the front pages of the Nigerian newspapers, the dailies, will tell you all that you need to know what you need to know about the capacity of the guy in Asarok. Keep defending. Mind you, the economy does not obey or now to propaganda. It could touch us all. Well, we're already facing it. On the Supreme Court judgment, Adetoye says, Supreme Court decides today, while the confirmation of the President to present 2024 budget November, says Senate. We have a call here. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Are you still on the program?
Yes, we're on the program. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes.
Good morning.
From okay.
Oh.
To call you before.
Okay, ma'am. Let's have your contribution.
to uphold you.
Amen.
Network. Can you, the network is very, can you hear me?
Yes, we can now. We can hear you now, ma'am.
Oh, the network is seems to be flocked.
It's flunked to wait.
You hear me, darling?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you, ma. Hello.
All right. Okay, we have to have a connection back. Let's take more comments. Datoye says, Supreme Court deciding today while the confirmation of the President to present 2024 budget to November, says Senate. Means Supreme Court has decided. Make una the play. I have to be quiet on that actually because we can't tell. We have to have the belief in our judicial
system, definitely.
Well, the hardship people are facing in the country is unbeatable. Our leaders should learn how to live one day at a time and understand that wealth is only earthly. Okay, Adeyeni says, no, I can't take that. You are... Okay, we have... Yeah, can you hear us now, ma'am?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you so much. I will make it briefly before we go off again. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I just want to comment concerning what the program you are doing has been trying since. You know, first of all, I want to say concerning our dialect, I think we need to look into that, you know, because we are, and we shouldn't forget where we come from. So, and the change begin from. So, first, we need to teach our, including we that we are I'm trying. I'm guilty as well, but I'm trying.
Okay.
They cannot speak very well.
The network seems to be very bad, but I think I get a message. A message is like we should try to portray and encourage our culture. She said she spoke from UK. She called from UK and she said even in the diaspora, Nigerians in diaspora, they're still trying to imbibe the culture in their children. So why not we here? I've seen mothers really scolding their children, and I'm sure they are listening right now. We should embrace our culture. The fact that your child is speaking Yoruba doesn't make him a dollar. Doesn't make him or her a dollar. Doesn't say some of us here. I said it earlier on when I was in school, when I was very young, I was being communicated with through Yoruba language. And I'm sure you also had the same thing too.
Yes, my mom still communicates with me, even in my local dialect. That is Ekiti language. And when I started speaking, most of my uncles got surprised that I could, try at least to speak in Ekiti. And it's something that we need to address in the country, Yoruba language or Yoruba land, as it is, as we all say. We have to go. We're still going to take more comments, but, we can't still take it, but we can't take it anymore. We sincerely appreciate Mommy Downsy from the UK. We appreciate everybody that, dropped their comments today, especially to everyone that listened. I remember the song, Olajude, Olajude lawa gbagbe àṣà ìdílé wa. These songs actually indicate what's going on in the Nigerian society, the Yoruba society. And I just wish that, we have transparency in everything that we do concerning the nation. I wish and I pray that one day I would experience, having to see these changes in Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. My name is Favor Oloruntola, and I have been doing this with Adida Molala Fenwa. It's right beside me, but no.
Abio.
We understand. We understand what's going on here.
Yeah, my voice is. I'm still struggling with my voice, but hopefully, I pray it gets better by tomorrow.
Okay, Agumbi Ade Sheriff.
Okay, we have messages.
Oluwa Yemia Okoide, Mustafa Taiwo, Shade Basirat on Facebook.
Okay.
Everyone, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being there.
Bye-bye. Please pray for Nigeria.
Solutions 93.9 FM.
Solutions 93.9 FM. Ẹ káàárọ̀.